3, 4. Crikey! That was my favourite jam of the day.
That was a really good jam, wasn't
Excellent, sir.
Oh! I've dropped my pick so I can enable that 5.
Depending on the order of videos that has gone up between when I picked the best guitar that I could for under £500 and chose a Gretsch, hey, maybe I should have chosen this instead because this is similar kind of dough and I love it.
But you got more pickups than a Gretsch, so that's one more.
And I never really thought I was a big Telecaster man, but look, this is Fender versus, dearest Squire, kapow, versus cheapest Fender. And it's like, why aren't we using Strats? Well, that's because the Strat range is a bit weird. So the dearest Squire Strat is a bit cheaper than this, and the cheapest Fender Strat is a bit dearer than this.
Right.
So I thought we'd go Telecasters because the price then, believe it or not, between a Squire Telecaster like this and a Fender Telecaster like this is only about £20 or something.
You know what? I actually prefer the T to the S. I think they're better casters.
T to the S to the D to the M to the A to the M to the D to the P. That's a massive dirty porno I saw once. I don't even know what S stands for. I don't know what S stands for. Probably.
It's already one of those videos.
So look.
Well, here we go. It's a classic vibe.
Best
Telecaster
guitars you can buy.
Best guitar you can buy from Fender Corporation from China.
They're great. Classic vibes are just great. I own a Strat. I don't know if you own any. Do you own any classic vibes?
Well, I'm just interrupting this broadcast to bring you something that's written on the back of this headstock, which I find fascinating.
What's that then?
Designed and backed by Fender.
Owned, I thought.
Backed.
Bizarre.
That's an
bizarre,
interesting wording. Is it legal? Is it a different company?
Well, Squire is wholly owned by Fender.
What if Squire is owned by Fender Corp? Why would it say designed and backed by?
Well, maybe it's just they feel that's a bit more sort of consumery speak.
You know that
People sort of think,
like gopher meme where he goes, "Dunno, could you do that?"
well, it's owned, backed, designed by everything.
It's heavy. You can hold it with one hand, but you can't bring it down to...
Oh, careful. Look at the old... That's it. There's a muscle going to pop out of Rob's arm like a scene from Aliens.
So, negatives.
Are there any?
Yeah.
What's the negative then?
Okay, it's got those hedgehog bridges that I don't like.
Well, but that's authentic. It's authentic.
It's authentically a worse design than anything else that ever came out from Fender.
Authentically bad.
Yeah, I don't like that. And that's the only negative I'm going to give you. I think it's a great playing guitar. Massive horn, which is always a good thing. Who else likes a massive horn?
It's an older body with the vintage...
Well, it's older than me, maybe.
Vintage style ashtray bridge section here.
In case you want to have a cigarette.
Rosewood board. Proper rosewood as well, still. Maple neck. Double bound telly, so this is called the Telly Custom.
Yeah, and I should say, from a player's point of view, speaking as a player, speaking as a father, it's got quite a thin neck.
Yeah, C-shaped.
Put your hand around that.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, that's one of the things in the Squire range where the authenticity kind of goes out the window. There aren't really even when they do like 50s and 60s and everything, stuff like that, they don't really properly copy the neck profiles in the way that some of the more expensive Fenders would.
So I'm just putting my pick back in my pick band while you're saying that.
They all tend to have the sort of the generally accepted kind of comfy modern C shape.
So they thought they'd, advance the tech of the neck, but keep the old outdated hedgehog saddles.
I think, to be totally honest with you, it's probably more to do with the cost of only having one, just literally tooling up to make one type of neck for all the guitars rather than anything like that.
Tell me about your trio picked up dirty butterscotch looking thing.
Now, I'll be honest with you, Fender released a range of guitars called Modern Player about 3 or 4 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong. That was the first ever Fender guitars made out of China. And it really was a bit like, hang on a second, in my mind it always used to be like Squire, 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 Fender, Fender, Fender. And now it sort of goes Squire, 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 sort of Fender, Fender, Fender. So you get this weird...
There's an overlap.
Yeah, you get this weird like, so why don't you just call this a Squire, or why don't you call that a Fender, or what are you trying to achieve here? They're both made in China. Crafted, I should say, not made in China.
And is that one backed by Fender as well, or is that?
Well,
one
it is Fender.
Right.
So it says supported by Squire, cheered on and supported by Squire. No,
really?
It doesn't say that.
No, it doesn't say that. That's a shame.
So yeah. So this is a weird one because obviously the next layer, up from here would be where Fender goes. It comes out of Ensenada in Mexico, and that's where you get all your standard Strats and stuff like that. So to be totally honest with you, this has very much the same kind of lacquered feel neck to this one. Obviously maple board instead of rosewood board. This is a pine body, which...
Well, Tellys were made from pine years ago, weren't they? So it's not a new thing at all. But
it doesn't feel as light as you might expect a pine guitar to feel. It feels like an ash or an alder body. But it's beautiful. I love the grain that I can see through here. Yeah. And we, of course, have now got this sort of hot-rodded, modded vibe going on here. So... a traditional telly pickup in the neck. Then it starts to get a bit weird because we've got like a Strat pickup in the middle. Then we've got a humbucker. Oh, excuse me, I'll do that again. Then we've got a humbucker at the bridge that I can coil tap. So, and just like on a Strat, I've got all the in-between.
So it's more Strat than it is Telly, really?
Well, it's a bit of everything, isn't it? You've got humbucker here, Strat here, Telly here, bit of everything.
Right.
Strat hardtail style bridge here, but strung through the body, which is cool. I must admit, I haven't spent as much time with this guitar as I clearly should have done, as I've really liked this, but...
It looks like something that Sir would make, to me.
Yeah, well, I don't... Yeah, again, I'm not terribly familiar with Sir stuff, so hard to comment. But it's, I mean, Fender have done 3 pickup Telecasters before, but got belly cut. So it's definitely got Strat.
Yeah, mine hasn't got a belly cut. But mine is back and front bound.
Yours is much more authentic Telecaster, for sure. Yeah. But getting back to the question of, so what should you do? Should you buy the dearest Squire or the cheapest Fender? They're the same. It's like, I don't even really know why Fender have put Fender on this.
Let's double check that, Lee. Let's swap over the old axes. I remember the first time I plugged in. Okay, so, well, here's the thing for you. Just immediately, I much prefer the feel of that one.
Oh, really? Is that the rosewood board, do you think?
No, it's the neck carve. That one just feels a lot more like a Fender to me. That's going to be a weird thing to say, but that feels more like a Fender than this one does to me.
And you know what? I got 2 things to say to you on that front. One is one is that I instantly am finding that I prefer this one to this one, but at the back of my mind is also that little nugget that says, actually, every guitar that you play, when you go from one neck to another, there's an instant like 20 seconds just to get used to it, and then you just go, oh, they're all fine.
Yeah, no,
sounds good. This is brighter, more Telecaster-esque, I suppose.
Yeah.
Probably the big saddles.
That's because that is a Telecaster. This isn't. This is a Strat that aspires to be a Telecaster. That's what this is. And
that's a good thing.
You know what? It's got the best way of securing a string ever. I think this was the best design human beings ever came up with. And I think it looks really, really cool, but I much prefer the feel of that one.
Can I just clarify what Rob is saying and agree with him at the same time, which is for all the locking and different style of machine heads that have ever been made.
Just push your string in the hole.
Yeah, the one with the hole in the middle where you just put the thing in and wrap it around. It's just so easy to string.
It's really good. I wish I'd invented that. But I mean, I'm sure it does good things. I much prefer that.
Really?
Yeah, for me, it's such an obvious.
I am, what's agnostic? I'd
buy that.
I like the look of that one better than this one.
I'd buy that, I'd change the saddles on it. I'd do things to it. I'd put a couple of filthy bare knuckles in it.
I think what this video is... So this video probably isn't really coming to any particularly useful conclusion in that we're not really saying, yes, the cheaper Fenders are better than the dearest Squires or vice versa.
What it really is coming to the conclusion of, for me, is that in the battle of Squire versus Fender at the most expensive Squire versus the cheapest, I prefer the Squire.
Really? Yeah. I'm just not feeling any quality difference between the two. They're they're componently different and different features. But I like that one. I like that one. But
there you go.
I like that one. What is that from? I like that one. What is that from? Is that
it's the disabled guy in the wheelchair in the Fast show.
No, Little Britain.
Little Britain, isn't it? I like that one. I like that one better. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Anderton's Guitar YouTube channel. If you're a drummer or a keyboard player or interested in music technology, you might find one of our other channels interesting, and I'll put details of those in the description below. If you want to find out more about the products we've just featured, please click here. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt like this, please click here. If you want to watch another video on our guitar channel, click down here. And to subscribe to our guitar channel, click here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.